when your own body turns against you. It happens in the most serious moments, like a silent room during a sad event. Your brain screams don't, but your mouth betrays you. Just like one talk show host who met his guest on air. He saw the man's face, and his brain just short-circuited. He laughed for 3 solid minutes with absolutely no control. Or the student who stood up to give a speech and said, "I want to be a race car pilot." He collapsed in shame as the entire class lost their minds. And you felt that urge before, haven't you? Your shoulders start to shake, your eyes begin to water, and you bite your lip until it hurts, but the laugh always escapes. From courtroom apologies to police training fails, these moments are never scripted. They are raw, real, and painfully human. In the next few minutes, you'll see a woman ruin her own apology and a news anchor shake on live TV. 10 people who tried to hold it together, 10 complete breakdowns. By the end, you'll know one simple truth. Laughter doesn't care about timing. It only cares about pressure. Kicking off our list at number 10, 2 neighbors sat in a quiet room. A dispute about a dog and a cat. All they wanted was a simple, "I'm sorry." The woman stood up to speak. She took a deep breath and tried to say the words, "I'm really, really sorry." But halfway through, her face cracked, a tiny smile, then a small giggle, then a complete breakdown. She wasn't laughing at them. She was laughing because saying it out loud was just so absurd. The other couple just sat there, completely stunned. It's a strange thing your brain does. When you're nervous, it releases tension with a laugh. It's not disrespect. It's a survival mechanism gone wrong. But if you think that's bad, wait until you see what happened on live TV. Sliding into the number 9 spot, live television, a serious caller, and then a tiny burp. It wasn't loud, it was just wrong. The host froze. He tried to move on, but the absurdity hit him like a wave. His face turned bright red. His shoulders started to shake. For a full minute, he couldn't speak a single word. The caller on the line just heard silence. Then some weird giggling. The host finally gasped, "I'm so sorry," and immediately lost it all over again. The burp wasn't the funny part. The funny part was watching a professional crumble. But at least he was alone. Imagine being a news anchor when a surprise photo hits the screen. Coming in hot at number 8, a live news broadcast. The anchor was reporting a serious story. He was calm, professional, composed. Then the photo appeared on screen. It was not what he expected. His face started to twitch, his lips pressed tightly together. He tried to keep reading, but his whole body started to shake. He didn't say a single word. He just fought a war with himself. Right there on live camera, the harder he fought, the worse it got. Here's the crazy part. If he had just laughed, it would have been fine. But trying so hard not to made it 10 times funnier. But fighting yourself is one thing. What about when you can't even finish your own sentence? Now we're at number 7. A man stood proudly in front of the camera. He wanted to make a serious statement in English to his fellow Filipinos. "All my fellow Filipinos, this is my side," he began. "Look and listen and learn. So far, so good." Then came the famous line, "The truth will set me free. Will be. He froze. He realized what he just said, and then he completely lost it. He wasn't embarrassed. He was laughing at his own mistake. The camera kept rolling. His joy was so real. It wasn't shame. It was pure self-awareness. But at least he was all alone. Now imagine you're in a classroom full of students, and you just mispronounced your dream job. Landing at number 6 now. A student stood in front of his class. His hands were shaking. He was about to share his biggest dream. "I want to be a race car pilot." The second he said it, his eyes went wide. The class erupted in sound, and he just collapsed. It wasn't a joke, it was pressure breaking. He laughed right along with them. That moment didn't mock him. It bonded the entire class. But laughing in a class is one thing. Now imagine laughing in the police academy, where laughing meant instant punishment. Taking the number 5 spot. Inside the police academy, rows of recruits stood at attention. The rule was very simple. If you laugh, you do push-ups. The instructor stood in front of them. Then he made a sound, a perfect loud chicken noise. Every single recruit collapsed. They fell to the floor in laughter, not because it was that funny, but because they were told not to. This is the forbidden fruit effect. The more you resist a laugh, the stronger the pressure becomes. The instructor was teaching them about control, and they all failed beautifully, but at least they were expecting a test. Imagine a formal award show when one phrase makes everything unintentionally hilarious. Holding strong at number 4. A formal ceremony. The room was quiet and respectful. A speaker stood at the podium. Then he said one phrase. It was meant to be serious, but it came out all wrong. A soldier standing nearby heard it. His face started to twitch. His jaw clenched tight. He stared straight ahead. He fought a silent war with himself. His shoulders began to shake. His eyes started to water. He never made a sound. He never broke his formation, but everyone watching knew. They knew the silent battle he was fighting. He won the fight to stay serious. But what if your best friend just told you the most embarrassing story of his life? Cracking the top 3 at number 3. Two friends sat on a podcast. One was about to tell a very embarrassing story. He looked at his friend and made a promise. "If you laugh, I'm leaving," he said. The friend nodded. The story began. 5 seconds later, his friend's face cracked. The pressure to stay serious was just too much. "You're smiling," the storyteller said. The friend tried to deny it, but his face told the whole truth. This wasn't about disrespect. It was a friendship under pressure. But at least this was between friends. Now imagine a public tribute, where one sound confused the entire internet. Now at number 2, a family interview. A student gave a heartfelt tribute. Probably the best person I've ever met. Then a strange sound came from the audience. Was it crying? Or was it laughter? The camera cut to a dad. His face was scrunched up. His shoulders were shaking. The internet debated for days. Was it pride or pure awkwardness? Crying and laughing are almost the same to your brain. But if that was confusing, wait for our number 1. Beltumus, where a host completely lost his mind on live TV. And now the moment you've been waiting for, number 1, a live talk show. The host met his guest for the very first time on air. The guest began to speak about his medical stories, but his voice was not what anyone expected. The host's face twitched. He tried to stay professional. He tried to fight it, but the laugh just erupted. "I'm so sorry," he gasped, but he couldn't stop. The guest told another story, and the host nearly fell out of his chair. The producers had to cut the segment. The host simply couldn't continue. It wasn't the voice itself, it was the pressure. The brain said, "Be serious." The body said, "Absolutely not." 10 moments, 10 breakdowns. Now, the truth behind them all. These moments weren't about cruelty, they were about pure pressure. Laughter is the brain's only escape. The harder you fight it, the bigger the final explosion. It's not a sign of disrespect, it's a perfectly human malfunction. 10 moments of pure human glitches. We've all been there. Laughter isn't a choice, it's a pressure release. If you felt this, subscribe. Which moment made you cringe the most? Tell us in the comments.